Hello, and welcome to episode 29 of the Pos-cast with Rabbi Shmuel Posner and myself, Seth Hellman. Rabbi, how are we doing today? You got a fresh cut going. You look good. You look young.
Younger. Baruch Hashem, well, you every time you announce the number, it's like, okay, it's a number. When you think about it, it's huge. Never imagined it would come to last this long, and a lot to your credit. Thank you very much.
As much to your credit as well.
Yeah, well, we're a team here, but so we have to keep on giving ourselves the. But now we've come into this past few weeks, it's like taking it to a whole new level. We had a guest every week because of the situation that's going on in Eretz Yisrael, and I guess I'll introduce Esther. So I got this WhatsApp message from Esther Cohen, who's the third face here. A long time, she'll tell you about herself and all that, but just she had a particular request from me, and I said, hey, jump on. I'd love to have you talk to our audience. We had a Zoom meeting on Sunday night. It was a last minute type of thing. I just had this inspiration to have this Zoom meeting, and like 15 alumni joined us for an hour on Sunday night. Interestingly, the demographic was mostly the older people. So we're talking about alumni from probably 20, 25 years ago, pretty much, and maybe a few that were, a small percent were from later on. And it was very, very powerful, very meaningful. And especially because we started at 9 o'clock our time, which is like 3 o'clock Israel time. And Gittel Wiener, who's an alumni, was on, and she spoke to us about her situation. And that was very sobering, and it allowed us to feel along with our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. So when Esther asked me to help her out with what should we be talking about, I said, hey, jump on the Pos-cast, and let's have it live. So, Esther, please.
Okay, hi, I'm Esther, and Rabbi Posner and I have known each other. We go back, more than 30 years, and he helped me make tshuva. I was a recidivist tshuva, but he helped me stay with it, and my husband, and then we decided after we got married to move to Israel. You actually came and visited me when we lived in Zichron Yaakov. Since then, we've moved to a little village called Moshav Aderet. It's a moshav, which isn't a kibbutz, and it's not really, not everybody is like communal. It's not communal, just the people who founded it. And we are 20 kilometers from Gaza, as they call it, the envelope of Gaza, and we have been hearing planes and bombs. A few of them landed near our moshav. It's very intense. Our house has been shaking, and lots of stuff going on. We are about 10 minutes from a place called Beit Shemesh, and 2 minutes in our backyard is a horrible Arab village called Sorif. It is so bad that even in times, not in times of war, they have the army regulating who goes in and out of it. When we first moved here, we had a lot of problems with these people. I have no idea how to justify what's going on, except thinking the government and the connection with what's happening with the government in America and everything. We're very limited with finances, with equipment, and we have a fence that separates us from this horrible Arab village. They have gotten in sometimes, but the fence is not fence worthy. It has holes and it's falling apart. And it was once, I think, an electric fence, but nothing works. And it's easy to get in and out. And it's a very big problem. We're very worried now, us, and we live near Gush Etzion, and we also, like I said, 10 minutes from Beit Shemesh. So we're kind of the protectors of Beit Shemesh. If we, God forbid, get infiltrated, they will go through our moshav, ransack it, and go directly across the street to Beit Shemesh, which is growing, has tons and tons of people. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Look it up in the map. It's in between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, such as we are. The people here mostly are volunteers. We have 1 or 2 official people who go around that surveil the place and try to keep us safe. We don't have enough funds to fix the fence, to fix the surveillance, to have enough guns, bulletproof vests. I'm going to send Rabbi Posner the link for the list, which I think is what I gave you anyway. It's included. And we need some help, because helping us will, aside from helping Am Yisrael, it'll help all the neighboring villages and towns, because like I said, we're right where they are. And we've gotten word that that's what their goal is, that they want to do this. They're just waiting. So we're sitting in shpilkas and we don't know what's going to happen, and it's scary. We're locked into the moshav. I mean, we can get in and out, but we can't go into the beautiful forest, which is one of the reasons I moved here. We can only walk around inside, and we have to be careful. And we need help. Everybody needs help. We need help. The country needs help. We're all brethren. We're the canary in the coal mine. I know it's been hard. I've been watching the news. I know anti-Semitism is growing in the States, and it's very scary. And we need to hold strong. Mirz Hashem will win here, there, everywhere. But we have to win here first. And we're desperate. And I'm coming on here to represent the community in which I live. They sent out a mailing, whoever can help. And I've already done one thing. I used my art to raise some money for orphans and widows, and now I'm trying to raise actual money to buy the equipment. Do you have any questions?
You're an artist?
Do you have anything you want to ask me?
I said you're an artist? You didn't.
Yes, I'm an artist. Yes, I'm an artist. You know that. You let me do my art in Chabad house. Remember the studio in the living room?
Yeah, I know. Well, you're talking to a larger audience. I'm trying to, prompt you.
I'm an artist.
Where did you study?
I studied at Mass College of Art and Tyler School of Art in Pennsylvania. I got my master's.
And you moved to Israel, and you are still creating art?
Yes, it's addictive. It's instead of stronger stuff.
So, aside from being worried about being attacked and all that, what's the mood in the Moshav in general? Like, is there...
The mood is concern, anxiety. We have lots of little children here, and elderly as well, and all what's in between. And everybody is concerned because we know they put out this request, because we know that they've been talking about it, via our beautiful Jewish souls that are running the country, who gather information, as you see how successful they are, have told us that this is what it's a hotbed right now. They're thinking of striking. We just don't know when, where, and how.
One second. What? Give me the geography. Where exactly are you? So between Tel Aviv and Yerushalayim. So that's like in the West Bank?
No. We're 20 kilometers from Gaza. We are 15 minutes from Beit Shemesh. We're half an hour from Yerushalayim, and about 45-50 minutes from Tel Aviv. We're in a place called Adulam. It's Ha'elah, the valley of Ha'elah, where David hung out and hid, and Goliath, he fought Goliath. It has a lot of, in my backyard.
It's very important.
Sorry.
So unprofessional, Rabbi. You've got your
I know.
volume on.
I'm trying. Yeah, I agree. This is not a professional thing. Yeah, I broke everybody's
You broke
idea
my
that
concentration.
No, but I'm trying to find out where this Aderet place is. Where exactly is this?
Are you
in
west of
Emek
Beit
Ha'elah.
Shemesh?
Emek, it's what?
Are you west of Beit Shemesh?
I think so. Behind us is like going towards Kiryat Gat. And in front of us is, like if I go out in my moshav and cross the street, I get to Beit Shemesh.
Oh, the Valley of Elah is beautiful.
Well, if you would come here, you could see it with your own eyes.
Okay, here I see.
Oh.
And who's in the Hak Seth's China if I'm not here?
What?
Nothing. Okay, here we go. Okay, Aderet. Okay, so it's south of Yerushalayim. Okay. Oh wow, Gaza's right there. Holy moly.
I said that.
This is a small country.
Yeah, you think? I'm telling you, our house was vibrating when we woke up on the 7th. We woke up, and I ran to my husband, and I said, what is this? Are they bombing us? Our house was shaking. We heard boom, boom, boom. And, of course, it was Shabbos, so we don't have anything on. And my husband went outside, and they said, you have to turn the radio. You have to turn the thing. You have to know we're being attacked. We're being bombarded. This was the first time, I have to tell you, be proud of me, Rabbi Posner. This is the first time, with trepidation, I turned on a device on Shabbos. Okay? And it was very, very strange. And they were attacking us, like nonstop, all over. And a few of the bombs landed in fields near my moshav. And we hear frequently the jets, our fighter jets, going over the bombs they land, and then the bombs that they try to land, and all types of things. Very, very scary.
So this Arab village is like where is it, like west of you?
It's right behind my house. It's like
Oh my golly.
It's like I can see it from my backyard.
Yeah. Wow.
And the Israeli police are very scared of these people. And when they used to come in and steal our car was stolen twice, and they wouldn't go in there past a certain point to get it. They just said, tell the insurance it's been destroyed.
Okay, so tell us something happy and exciting.
It's
Something
Eretz-
uplifting and positive.
We're going to be victorious. The Jewish people rock. We're rock solid. And if we just get a few more shmegegis in the government who believe in Torah, we'll be doing even better. But we have a few really, really hardcore Torah believers there, and they're holding strong, thank God. And this is the base of the Jewish people. And it's an exciting place to live. You know, it's a big zchut to live here, and I feel very privileged. Except now. But I mean, I feel like really, it's a really wonderful place. I'm really happy I was able to raise my children here, and they're native Hebrew speakers. And
How old are your children?
My twin boys just turned 19, and my daughter is 22.
Wow. So they're in the army?
My daughter's finished, and my son, he is in a yeshiva. We just brought him back again today. He's in a Hesder program, so it's a 1.5 years yeshiva, and then a 1.5 years in the army, and then another 1.5 years in the yeshiva, the minimum. And then my other son is in a preparatory school for the army to get him ready and maybe find a career for him in the army.
Wow. Okay. So Seth, how do we share this link?
So I will put it in the description on the YouTube. I'll also put it in the description on the Spotify. I don't know if people are going to be able to click on it necessarily if it's in the description on the Spotify, but I'll put it there anyway. And then I'm sure Rabbi Posner will put it out on his Instagram, like the Chabad Instagram, and it'll be in the weekly email, which I'm sure a lot of the people that are on this are listening to or are on. Otherwise, you can email Rabbi Posner, and I'm sure he will be more than willing to send you the link.
Excellent.
Also
That's what we'll do.
Facebook, right? You'll put it on Facebook.
Yeah, wherever, all my stuff. Okay, thank you very much, Esther. Thank you.
You're welcome to visit, both of you.
We have planned to come permanently with Mashiach now, Mamish, today.
And Meretz
Amen.
Hashem, we need Mashiach, right? Mashiach now.
Amen. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Thank you for
Be
coming.
safe
Bye.
there also.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Oh, and
once-
Dash to your family. Tell Chani I said hello.
you just did. Okay.
Oh, all right. I don't know where she is, but I send my love. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. I'm going. Bye.
Take care.
The whole
Okay,
Mashiach
here you
now
go.
thing is always so funny to me because it makes us sound so impatient.
What?
Like, as a people, Mashiach now. You know,
Right, yeah, we are impatient.
like we have the whole song. We want Mashiach now. We don't want to wait.
No, that's too much. We got to get to the point. Okay, so there we hear from Esther Cohen. Amazing. She actually lived in the Chabad house. She lived on the 6th floor.
Wow.
And she's, I didn't want to get too much into her. What she's actually a sculpt. She's a sculptor. I used to call her a sculptor. But incredibly, she actually grew up in Massachusetts, I think in the Sharon area, and made Aliyah. And that's, it's pretty incredible to see what, you move there thinking you'll be in Eretz Yisrael, things will be fine. All of a sudden now you have to deal with this horrible tragedy, this ongoing tragedy. So yeah, anybody that can help her. What I hear is like a specific person, a specific community. You're not giving to some fund and you don't know where it's going. So anybody, if like a bunch of people would throw in some money, I don't, the amount is up to you. I'm not going to dictate the amount, obviously. I think it'd be really nice. I think what we can do to help them, that community, that specific community, is like if 100 people will send something in based on our conversation, that would be like the Jews actually care. There are those that pick up and go to Eretz Yisrael and, they go on a mission for 3 or 4 days or something like that. And, the Israelis are so happy that the Jews came over. But everybody can't just run over there. And when you're giving money to a fund, the people who on the other end don't know who you are. They don't, they're getting the money obviously, but they're not getting a connection to the people. Here I think we can make a direct connection to these people, with a message of encouragement, because as much as we try to be upbeat, it's almost easier to be upbeat here, which we have to be, than it is over there when you're, like she's saying, her life has changed. She feels threatened by her neighbors, and it limits where and if you Google the place, you look, it actually looks like a very nice place, and it's changing her lifestyle and affecting her. So it's very hard to be, and the alumni that we had on Sunday night, I said it's 3:00 in the morning, and she said we don't sleep anymore. We're constantly on edge. There's sirens going on. There's concern. Everybody knows somebody who's in the army. Sadly, everybody knows somebody who lost their life, whether it was on October 7th or was in the ensuing war that's going on now. So it's tough, and if we can do something just to lift them up a little bit, that would be fantastic. So. Moving on on this subject, we have a Peter Klein update. I think it's going to be like a weekly thing. What is Peter Klein up to lately? So he was on the Zoom on Sunday night and so he spoke about what he had done since we had him as our guest. His wife said, "Hey, I want to get into this." So they set up a table outside some shopping center or something where she was selling baked goods and collecting money, and also it went off really well. People, it's where he lives, Lakeview, he said is a predominantly Jewish area, not necessarily very observant, but everybody very supportive, and was selling cookies or something for $2. Some guy gave you $100, and I said, wait a second, and he sent me a picture wearing a hat, not the same color as yours, but in the same, wearing it backwards if you're wearing it, and he's putting on tefillin with this man. He's actually wearing shorts. It was Sunday. It was a warm day. He's got shorts and the hat on, and he's and he's putting tefillin on with this man. This is incredible. This is. I said, so wait a second. Your wife should be giving out Shabbos candles. So I said, I said, where do you get it from? He said, it's a great idea. Where do I get them from? So this is Monday. Monday morning, I made the order. And yesterday he got them, 100 little kits, 2 little tea lights with matches, a nice little box. I have one here. I have it somewhere. Anyway, a nice little box that he had. It's a little thing, and he sent me. He said, I opened the box. I was laughing out loud. What is this? He didn't expect that I actually would send it. Something in the past, maybe we'll send it. Whatever. And he got it the next day. And they said, my wife she's not ready to be a shliach. So this is where it gets a little serious. I did answer him in somewhat of an amusement, but it's serious that, everybody is in this. This is not, from our enemies we get smarter. Who is this war against? You think, it's the Hamas has an issue with Israel. we look around the world, it's not about Israel. It's about Jews. It's like, and it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why? What is wrong with you people? We're all Americans, and you're hating the Jews because of what's going on in Israel. Now, maybe we support Israel, but why should you hate me for supporting Israel? It's bizarre. It's really crazy what's going on, and it's almost like this is the ignition for anti-Semitism to just explode all over the place. And one other guy from California, my friend David Silberhoff, sent me an article where somebody wrote. The title of the article is Why do they hate? Why does my generation hate the Jews? Like written by a student in Stanford. Maybe we should get her on. And she goes through this whole thing about the education that they have when they're younger. Blah blah blah. I don't get into the whole business, but bottom line is, it's anti-Semitism. It's against Judaism itself. And so the question is to every one of us. All of us are under attack. Thank God in America, not actually physically.
Well,
But,
I mean, speaking of California, a man just died. Was just killed by
yeah. There's more details to that than meet the eye. It wasn't, and of course the media loves it. The media loves it. They love it. Like, oh, finally somebody died. We have a story. Let's go with it. Da da da. And then you wait 3 days, you find out it's not exactly what it was meant to be. What it seemed to be in the beginning. It could have been more of an accident. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it because it's just not. It's not. It wasn't like four guys jumped this guy and beat him silly and got 8 hours later he wasn't alive anymore. It's a little more complicated. I'm not dismissing it as not being important. Any person loses life, obviously, but it wasn't this this vicious attack by somebody. All right, whatever. The details will come out. But the point is that we're under attack. We're under attack as Jews, and you look on social media, it's insane. And going in the street, and I talked to students at BU. And I was talking to one kid yesterday, having a serious conversation with him about wearing a yarmulke. And he's talking about comments that he gets, this and that. And I just want to say that we as Jews have to be more obvious that we're Jewish and attract those comments and engage them. Now, if the person is completely silly and is not going to talk logically, then move on. Don't even waste your time. It's really foolish. Because we have to balance it out with the non-Jews who, on campus yesterday, one of the other ministers came over. I'm sorry what happened, da-da-da. Again, I don't get into long conversations with them. I don't want to talk about it. I just say to them, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I do appreciate it. When someone who's not Jewish comes over, I didn't ask them to. They come over and they feel they want to say something because they feel a wrong was done. And they realize as well. I'm like, what are you telling me for? I'm not Israeli. What do you ask? What are you sorry? Everybody realizes the Jews are one people all over the world. I mean, that's just the way it is. In Paris, they're putting mug and dovets on people's houses. All this kind of stuff. So, what's our response? Our response is to embrace that in a positive way. So, yeah, guys, put on your tefillin. Our strength lies in who we are internally, in Torah and mitzvahs. This is why we are still here. And the Roman Empire crumbled, and we went through this. The Greek Empire, everything crumbled. All that's left is us. We're still standing. And for whatever reason, we have to get into this, why there's anti-Semitism. But the way to battle it is to be strong in who we are. And so, the people, that's what I was trying to get out of Esther, to get something like uplifting, but she's so worried about survival and what's going on. But in truth, we're going to be okay. It's going to happen. What we need to do, and that's getting back to Peter's wife, we are all in this together. And you have the privilege to be able to be out there and encouraging Jews to do mitzvahs. And in essence, the value of the mitzvah itself, and the recognition of these Jews connecting to who they are as Jews, because that's the most important thing. That is arguing about anti-Semitism, arguing about how bad Hamas is, arguing about Palestine versus Israel, whose land is it. This is all a sideshow. This is not... that's not going to change anything. What matters most importantly on the battlefield is what Netanyahu is doing. We are not going to stop until we finish the job. That's, and we get back into the Rebbe. I was talking to these kids, and we had a class, half the class, talking about the Pos-cast, and they looking through the description, and everyone has, and of course about the Rebbe, of course.
Yeah, I keep it consistent.
Of course, and I said to him, what else did I talk about? Like, what do you think? So if you look at the talks of the Rebbe, and when I was I was actually listening to Yossi Jacobson, who gave a talk to the Shluchim, and he said something which clicked in my mind. He said, yeah, exactly. We would sit at Fabrengens in the 70s and the 80s, and the Rebbe would talk about Israel. Whatever, he talked about who was a Jew, with law of return, about conversion, it should be according to halacha. He would talk about the situation in Israel, about the military tactics, the response to the enemies around Israel. And we would sit there and I didn't really understand what was going on, because this is the politics of Israel. And then the bigger question was, what am I supposed to do about this? And I looked around the room, there's all these chassidim here, and I came to the conclusion very quickly: the Rebbe's not talking to us; he's talking through us. So, in a sense, this is the Rebbe's platform to tell the world, and obviously he's talking to us as well. And the message is very clear, very, very simple. Israel belongs to the Jews because God gave it to the Jews. The strength of the Jews comes from Torah and mitzvahs. Everything else is a sideshow. But where do we get the strength to say to the President of the United States, look, we are not going to stop until we finish the job. This is what we need to do to protect our land, to protect our people. That comes from Hashem, from Torah. If you believe that the land of Israel is given to us by Hashem, that means it's ours internally, and we have not the right, but the obligation to protect it and to root out any enemies. And the end of the war is very simple. All that Hamas has to do, return the hostages and lay down their arms. That's very simple. The whole world's screaming, ceasefire, ceasefire. We live in a world, in Chassidus it's called Amud Shikr, a world of falsehood. What are you people talking about? What do you mean? What does ceasefire mean? You're holding my son, my daughter in some basement or some tunnel somewhere. I'm knocking on your door to give me it back, and you're saying, maybe stop knocking for a while. The noise is disturbing us. What do you mean? Give me my kid back. I'll go home. The world is insane, and sadly, the indoctrination of the youth, of young people is do you guys know what you're saying? Even from the river to the sea, which river, which sea? What are you talking about? You have no. It's everybody's just going with the flow. Or this thing about tearing down the signs that the kidnapped people. It's laughable, because the signs being up are, between me and you, somewhat meaningless. Taking the signs down is just stupid. It's just like you're being stupid. These are old people, young people, middle-aged people who are kidnapped. I saw something somewhere. It's we've come to the point that it's okay to tear down a sign about a kidnapped Jew, God forbid, but not to tear down when somebody's dog is lost. So if you tear down, you're such a cruel. What you don't care? You're not caring, and that I think is emblematic of society. The lost dog, you got to keep that up, because Nebuch, the family is hurting, the dog is hurting. Lahavdil, we have a Jewish man, woman, boy, girl, child, adult that's kidnapped. Tear that down. What is the meaning of tearing it down? What are you affecting? Now let's see. Putting up the sign does what? It reminds people. Okay, what exactly it's going to do? Who knows? Not too much. Taking it down, what does it do? What does it do? It doesn't do anything. It's just an act. It's an evil act. We want to get at the Jews. So we're something that can do that isn't, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't get arrested. Oh, tear down this sign that they put up. You could put up a sign, you could put a sign with my picture, and he's a Jew. They'll rip it down also, because they're just looking to express their hate somewhere. What we have to do is, we have to fight that with light. And that's the internal self of who we are as Jewish people, and people that we know. And that's the message, and that's constant. And so, to the Peter Kleins of the world, and he's not the only one, Baruch Hashem, we need more like that, who are just on their own initiative. They're not part of an organization. Actually, when I sent him the package, I wrote his name and his wife's name, and then under it, Chabad of Plainview. So he was confused. Did this come from Chabad of Plainview? I said, no, you are Chabad of Plainview. Now, I don't want to get in trouble if there's a shliach there, he's not going to call me up and say, what are you doing? But I said to him, no, every single person.
Rabbi, of course there's a shliach there, and you probably know him. He's probably your cousin.
Oh, my phone's ringing now. So I said to him, any Jew who follows the Rebbe's directives about reaching out to other Jews with love And the famous. If you know Aleph Beis, teach someone the Beis who doesn't know Aleph. You know only Aleph, find someone who doesn't know the Aleph, teach them the Aleph. If you're doing that, you're Chabad, you're Lubavitch, you're a Chassid of the Rebbe. You are being influenced by the Rebbe's teachings. It never was in history like this. You have some yobo with his hat on backwards, putting on film with somebody in a shopping mall. I'll send you the picture. You can post it somewhere. And where did that come from? It came from that energy that it's Rebbe energy, it's Mashiach energy, where every single person who's able to do good for themselves and for others does it, and that's really our response. So we're getting, if you go on, I don't know what this TikTok is. Thank God I've never been on it, but any social media you're on, it's shocking, it's ridiculous, and now there's a whole conspiracy theory. It's all the Chinese fault because they own TikTok. And whatever algorithms, it's too much in my head. It doesn't make a difference to me. But what's important is that there's a lot of trash flowing out into the world, and we need to focus on spreading more light and doing more Yiddishkeit, and that's just the bottom line of it. And the people we've had on the past few weeks, I think Nathaniel said it perfectly. Every person standing up and being Jewish. So I sit on campus. Sitting on campus is not the most exciting thing in the world. And sometimes, there's not too much action. Baruch Hashem, there is. Kid walks by yesterday, puts on tefillin, and, he's doing it for Israel. And what I love most is him standing there putting on tefillin, watching people walk by. The Jews are here. They're doing the Jew thing. So the Jews see the Jews doing it. The non-Jews see the Jews doing it. That's what we need to be, out there doing it. And that's just my message. I'm going to keep on pumping that. And to Esther and her people there, we're thinking about you, we care about you, and we just hope that all this light and energy and positive energy will lift you guys up and will move us in a good direction. And to the soldiers, Hashem should give them success, and it should happen as soon as possible. The victory should come. And, what's going to happen afterwards? So that's the question of who's going to rule. No. What's going to happen afterwards? Are Jews still going to be cognizant that their Judaism is the most important thing in their lives? It's the center of who they are. That's the real question about what's going on here, and we have to keep that in mind, because this is an attack on Jews and Judaism, and we have to be stronger and stronger and stronger.
Amen. So with that, that'll do it for episode 29 of the Pos-cast. Rabbi Shmuel Posner, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week, probably same time and same place. I can actually start saying that again, because we've been consistently on Wednesdays every week. So
it's so scary. Like, you had a message at 10:31. Where are you? I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, that was more because our guest had showed up and you hadn't, and so I'm trying to make small talk with someone who I've never met before. I need an adult in the room.
I love. Okay, with that.
See you next week.
Okay, guys, remember we're gonna post the post the link, and you do what you can, and Hashem will help that even from the good, every little good we do will bring us the ultimate good.
Amen.